Peace. Now, assalamu alaikum. This is your brother Rahim, your investigative reporter, coming at you live once again. This video is basically put out there for Shakka Ahmose because basically he has put a challenge out there to Islam. So the thing with that is they're saying things about the Bible, Israelites, Hebrews, Christians, and Muslims. So I'm coming on the part for the Muslims. Me and him had a discourse on YouTube, so forth. I'm going to show you that in a little bit of this video. I'm not going to make a big video of me sitting here, but I'm introducing you to who I am because it takes too long to edit. But Shakka Ahmose, this is to put out to you, Islam versus Ma'at. You can get your boy Sonetta. I have my sponsor, Sal Showtime. And we can get it on. Because there's a whole lot of things you didn't present that's right. You giving your opinions. So without further ado, this video, I'm going to show the people what's going on. Okay? Now, I want him to accept this challenge. And then he can be done with it. Because I'm going to be done with it. Because I know I'm coming with it. I'm coming with what's supposed to be came with. So it's Islam versus Ma'at. So I'm putting that challenge out to you. Live. No sitting behind YouTube. No talking. Live. And we're going to get it on. All right? You know who I am. I know who you are. You know Rahim4411 on YouTube. So let's get it on. And everybody, stay tuned for the video. And I say assalamu alaikum and peace.
Representing Islam and originally from New York City, this is the Islamic scholar himself. This is Rahim Ali.
You are now inside the Lion's Den.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds.
This is your investigative reporter, Rahim Ali. Peace once again, everybody. This is your brother Rahim Ali, your investigative reporter, coming to you. Let's get this started. Okay. We're going to get to where it started with me and Shakka about the lock. Okay. I said, I never seen a lock. I don't ascribe to it for a man and such and such and such. Show me, you know, a picture or something. So he did. So I said, okay, cool about the lock. Being you said one thing and another book said another, which I'm talking about my own personal books and Awanasap. Because he did prove what he said was true. But everybody went, ooh, nah, because Shakka Ahmose said what he said about a man having a lock in the coffin text of 154 and so forth. Okay, cool. So I gave you the lock argument. So I'm giving him the argument. And this dude don't get it because you showed a pic, which now I have a pic in my own documents of a man. But the thing is, was it before 2181? I don't think so. We're going to get into that. So I said, so what are you talking about? I went to the Arabic because I know you were emphatically wrong about Arabic. So I talked to him about the lock, and then I went to the Arabic because he has this presentation about Arabic, which he's wrong. So then I says, again, your mouth is bananas. Because he was cursing me out. I ain't even putting that up on the screen. People calling me the N-word and mother effer and all this. He was just going off like he was crazy. So then he says something about privilege. So I'll show it to you. It's not a privilege to talk to you. You're wrong about Arabic, and you got checked with the plethora plethora of info I showed. But I will see you face to face one day in NYC. Yeah. You said you won, but you act like you lost. You articulate yourself very bad because he was cursing and so forth. I put up some info about Arabic and about the book where he called Islam a religion, and I showed it wasn't. He disappeared. So that's where all that comes from. Then I said, did you say the word niggas to me? I don't use that word at all. And for you to be so smart, you sound dumb using that word again and again and again. You use profanity. He was using profanity like crazy. Is that my app? So I guess we are even. It would be dumb and idiomatic to think you did something with a language that's pure rhetoric and nonsensical. Taking one word and talking about, gee, they got it from there. Come on, that's crazy. You're talking to a grown man, not a child, and no, I paid my own bills because he was trying to tell me to get out of here, whatever, disappear. I won't disappear. Allah has made me on a mission, and it's to correct people like you from making false claims, especially about Islam. There are 2.08 billion Muslims on this earth, and you have the gall to be prideful in saying you're Islam's worst nightmare. If that's not pride, I don't know what is. And you're not going to do it with no Wikipedia. Bet that. You ain't gonna be able to mess with me dealing with Wikipedia. You better come better than that. So I said, go back to your Maya and learn how to speak. Notice, I haven't used one word of profanity. You actually don't know who you're messing with. Keep puffing up your chest and get it knocked down. Now, when I say get it knocked down, I'm talking about mental against mental. You see what I'm saying? I ain't talking about physical. But if he was to attack me physical, oh yeah, it would go there. And I'm saying it live. It's on record. But I'm talking about mentally knocking your chest down and taking away your pride. You need to be more humble. Now, this is what Shakka says. Cool. About the lock. Is that Arabic for I understand, I stand corrected? Well, I'm not talking to you in Arabic. I'm talking to you in English. I'm texting you in English. What are you talking about? When we say something cool in Harlem or Bronx or Brooklyn, we say cool. You know, I already told you, you got that argument. But I am not saying you are fully correct, because I'm going to show y'all something. Watch what? Watch this. Because if it is, must be an unknown dialect. Apparently, it is a privilege to dialogue with myself. Stop right there. A privilege to dialogue with somebody like you. You dropped out of school. I got my diploma, and I went to school after that. I deal with computers. I can build a computer from the ground up, from the bare bone on up. Okay? I can build a studio dealing with Pro Tools, the HD system that it has, the SSL board, 9000J, or any board, icon board, or anything. I will smash you in that too. Completely decimate you in music. You can't sing. That's a fact. I've been into the music since '94. Okay? You can't sing. I could prove that. And you'll see after, you'll see what's going on at the end of this video. You can't sing. You know nothing about the studio like I do. If Clive Davis was to come to me right now and say, listen, I need you, I'm going to give you a budget of $300,000. I need you to build me a state-of-the-art studio. I can do it. I have the people come in, measure, put up the foam for different degrees so the bass and everything would fit in its proper spot. And I, by myself, would hook up the Mac computer to the SSL board, to Pro Tools, the HD system, and all the programs, Wave programs, Logic, Cubase. I know all of that. And I told you that and you ran. So let's clear that out the way. So it's not a privilege. It's more of a privilege to know me because, listen, you don't know who you're dealing with, okay? And you may think you know more than me, but I doubt it. Let's go on. As you seem to continue making pilgrimages to my page in order to do so, because I sure as hell have made no excursion to your own. Okay. However, since you have once again fallen into your usual state of denial and do not see as such, I will gladly alleviate you of the privilege of doing so. So any further, see how that works? All right, cool. Said all that, which made absolutely no sense. Then he goes on to say, the Quran not only stems from a region linguistically Syro-Aramaic. Oh, I got something coming, y'all. Hold on for that. But that is also, at least in large parts, based on an originally Syriac text. Okay? 4 written characters that were either nearly identical or extremely similar in the Syriac and Arabic scripts, and therefore capable of being mistaken for one another, but which serve as indicators of different consonants in 2 written languages. These characters were preserved in the transfer of the original Syriac text into Arabic. Okay, which means that they were not then converted into correctly corresponding Arabic characters. This phenomenon points to the use of a text originally written in Syriac. So he gives this guy, Karl-Heinz Oleg, and Jared R. Putin from Amazon. He always puts up Amazon as his link to go to for the books. You don't know how to edit and put the book next to it? I mean, to the picture? I mean, I'm nice with it when it comes to editing, so I ain't worried about that. Then he says, now you can ride away on your fictitious Alibaba carpet. So it's more to that, people. I'm just giving you just a little bit of what happens. So, but Awanasap puts up this. What does his lock mean? And he says, from at least the old kingdom, 2686 to 2181 BC. I want y'all to keep that thought in mind. Both boys and girls wore the side lock of youth, a long tress of hair that trailed down the side of the head, which I agree with. Page 344, ancient Egypt, right? I have books here of ancient Egypt. Go to my video, Rahim's, what I got? Rahim's library, book library. Okay, and you can see it's on YouTube. You can see the different books I got. You'll see some of them, but I got more. All right. So this brother puts up this, and Shakka comes behind him and puts up a picture on the PowerPoint of 2181 and says that it was said from the Coffin text 154. Okay, see, I remember all this stuff. And then he says that person said that they now know that a lock was made for a man. Okay, then I think he gave 334 Coffin text also to say the same thing. Okay, cool, cool. And everybody going ooh and I, see, but y'all not recognizing what Awanasap put up on the board. Awanasap was right. It says 268, 6 to 2181. At that time, it was for the youth. Okay? That's the time period. Shakka gives from 2181. So at that time, men started. So I'm trained to see detailed things. Awanasap was exactly right. If y'all didn't see this, y'all won't know. So Awanasap is 2686 to 2181. So after 2181 and beyond, some men wore the lock. That's when they became into play with men. So they changed it. from the girls and the boys. They did it up until puberty, right? So Ahmose was right, okay? And Shakka was right. But Shakka was 2181. So that's when it started, Shakka. It wasn't before. If you can show me something, a coffin text that's before 2181, then grown men were wearing it. But that book is saying 2686. That's 505 years before 2181. That only children was wearing a side lock. So this is where me and him got into the interchange. He knows who I am now, okay, on YouTube. So he loves R.O. Faulkner. He says he's the authority, the ancient Egyptian coffin text. And I got from what he liked best, Wikipedia, Volume 1, 1973. So I'm looking up coffin spell 154. So you go and I'm looking. I got R. Faulkner. So I'm looking, and none of these say anything about what Shakka said about grown man. I know what a lock is now, and all of that stuff. I see where it says at 282, part utterance, braided hair. A woman with braided hair. The whore woman set as a trap by Gilgamesh. See, so anything else between 154 and 155 is like, I don't see that. Maybe he said he has the book. Maybe it's there. But I searched it, and you don't see that coffin text 154 talking about what Shakka specifically said on the net. You won't find it. So I go here. I went to another person named Alice Lindsay. She sent me something different. We don't see that. So Shakka could be right if he has the book. He said he would eat nothing but peanut butter for 2 months or so to get that $800 book. But I'm thinking like, if you got 2 houses in Africa and you got 2 businesses, getting 800 shouldn't even strife you the least bit. I don't understand that one. See, I don't trust Shakka. And I'm going to show you why I don't trust Shakka after this. So this is the basis of where we were going back and forth, people. So now I don't see what he said. So I don't know if he's telling the truth or not. I would have to see the book. But me, myself, is not interested in paying for a $800 book or talking about Egypt. I have no interest. I have spent my money on biblical books of, biblical, Islamic, Near Eastern, and African, so forth. And I've studied Egypt, but I'm not spending $800. So that's the basis of that. Then he goes and says, dude, no, this is what I say. He says I'm practicing a religion. Then I say, dude, talking about religion, he is nuts. Kemet were some of the most religious people on earth. And I mean by institution. I made that clear. So Shakka replies, apparently you're a special kind of stupid to have as a religion. Then watch this. He puts in parentheses. I want y'all to keep that in mind too. He puts in parentheses from Latin relingere, to bind, into the brackets, right? Then he says, one must be bound to a particular book. The people of Egypt were not bound to any book, hence no religion. That's crazy. What he said. That is crazy, right? And I'm going to break down and show y'all Islam is not a religion. That's why he ran, because I showed him. Right? So now, he breaks down Latin lingere, right? So when he said that right off the back, I emailed, I hit him back on YouTube a couple of minutes later with the whole definition because I knew where he got it from. He got it from this book. You see, he didn't know I am well studied in Metuneta, volume 1, and I got volume 2. Ra'un Nefer Amen. Very brilliant book. Very brilliant person. Okay? He got it from there. And if you look at the one line he gave us, or me, it doesn't even compare. He said Latin, right? He didn't even go into the whole, he didn't even break down the whole re and legion, and he didn't do none of that. He didn't do the prefix or nothing. Listen to this, people. A brief definition of religion. He ran because I put this up. I put this up and he was gone. An analyst of the word religion shows that it is to the right side of the brain what a glove is to the hand. The word is composed of the Latin prefix re, meaning, again, back, plus lingere, meaning tie, bind, fasten, as well as the Indo-European root leg, meaning to collect, from whence the Greek legion and the Latin lingere, meaning logic and legal. So far, I ain't seen nothing about a book. From this, we can conclude that the coiners of the word religion applied it to those beliefs and practices aimed at tying people back to something with which they had originally been one and belong with by natural connectivity. Okay, so I still don't see the word book. How you see, he takes stuff that's true, right? Then he spins it around with his own logic, which makes no sense. You can read the rest for yourself. There's nothing about a book here, and then that's religion. No, no. And you want to lie and say, we ain't got no book. Okay, and we ain't no religion. Okay, Priest of Ancient Egypt by Serge Surmeron. I got this book. It's straight. I'm copying it straight from the book. Leafing through the old text and looking through the old chronicles and deciphering at random the stelae and the religious monuments in regard rereading the tales of Greek and Latin voyagers who 20 centuries before us were also tourists of Egypt. And you can read the rest. But you're saying it right there. Religious monuments. Here are inventory tablet, temple of Ma'at at Karnak. Those are books, but they're not books how you think today. See, y'all always, you guys at the Kemetic community, y'all always try to take what's in 2015 and retrospect it back to like as though those people was thinking what you thinking today. These are books. It was written down. It's tablets nonetheless, but it's books nonetheless. So your religion was written down. Let's stop it. So we get away from that. So I prove him wrong on that. All right. Now we go to the nonsense he talked about the word Surah Academy that the Jews had and so forth. He gets this Wikipedia. Then he takes it and he spins it out of control. They never said the word Surah that's in the Quran. Okay. Comes from the Surah Academy. They never said that. This guy's saying that. So he don't know the difference between Surah and Surah. Surah and Surah. Do you hear the little difference between that? Because I know how to pronounce it correctly when you're dealing with Hebrew and Aramaic and Arabic. Excuse me, both basically Arabic. It's Surah. You hear the H breath because Surah in the Quran is spelled S-U-R-A-H, not S-U-R. It's pronounced different. Has a different meaning. And what he don't know, linguistically, all the Semitic languages have loan words to one another. Okay? Now nobody said nothing about Islam stealing the word surah and putting it in the Quran. This academy thing doesn't say none of that. He's saying that. He's saying that. This is surah, where it's located. It's basically right smack in Arabia, right there in the Euphrates. That's all Arabia. I hope you know your geographical locations. Even if it's political, it's right there, Arabia. And that was Babylonian territory at one time. The Hebrews or the Israelites were in captivity in where? Babylonia. Okay? So it's in right there, Arabia. So you mean to tell me the word surah, even if we took off the H, you telling me we get rid of our Quran because this word surah, that's in Arabia, we're supposed to have caught. See, that makes absolutely no sense. He's making no sense. Let's look at the Quranic verse. It's straight from the Quran. Look, it's surah. There's a breath on the H. This is how an Arab would know if you're talking correctly when you're speaking Arabic. See, I know how to use and articulate from the front, the middle, and the back of the throat. I know glottal stops, smooth saying alphabet. First of all, there are two vowels there. The U would be U. There's no U, no long U in Arabic. And A, which is Ah. So it's Rah. Okay? Those are two vowels between three consonants, which is Sin, which is seen in Hebrew, Ra, which represents a R, which is Resh in Hebrew, and H, which is Ha in Arabic, and Ha in Hebrew. But they're not even spelled basically the same. It's just a H is on this one, and they sound a little different. It comes from a triliteral root word, Sin, Ra, Ha. You don't know that because you're not linguistically trained. So that's why you're making all these false assumptions. But I'm here to tell you Islam against Maya. Islam versus Maya. That's a good title. Since you want a good title, you can move around. You can talk about anything you want. Because when I'm coming with, you ain't going to be able to handle just this alone. You're crushed. The word surah was not stolen from there. From the Surah Academy. That sounds crazy. Now that we got that straight, let's look at something. Let's go to the videotape. Okay, Arabia, being that the academy is over there, a large peninsula of Southwest Asia. There it is. Consisting Arabia Petra, including Petra, the peninsula of Sinai, Arabia Deserta. That is the Syrian desert. Hello, Syrian desert. Keep that in mind. Between the Jordan Valley and the Euphrates River. See? See? See where Academy is? Is at the Euphrates. And this is just a political map. I could take you where Arabia stretches all the way back to India. But I ain't going to do that. I don't need to do that. See? It says Euphrates River. So where was the Academy? Sitting in Arabia. At the Euphrates River. We seen that. You can go to Wikipedia and see that. And Arabia Felix. The southern section. Okay? And you can read the rest. All right? Now, let's go down. It says, Arabia with a border ill-defined, meaning it's really hard to put a border. See, they did that. Caucasians did that for themselves. It's not the correct border. Ancient people didn't do that in antiquity. It says ill-defined and difficult to defend. This what they talk about at the Euphrates is difficult to defend. And with a have-not population ready to plunder was a major factor influencing the history of the Hebrew people. Huh? This is the Zondervan Illustrated Bible Dictionary. This is coming from the Bible Dictionary. Okay? Telling you this. The people of Arabia influenced the Hebrew people. Abraham, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, was an Arab. I can prove that. But what y'all say, he don't exist? I can prove that he exists too. I can prove that Muslims who existed. Y'all talking about you can't find Muslim from outside sources. Bull crap. I can prove it. Let's move on. Because now I just proved that. Now, let's move on. Arabic. Huh? Concise Encyclopedia Languages of the World. I have that book and the other book that you just read. That I just read. Arabic is an offshoot of the Semitic branch of the Afro-Asiatic languages. Did it say Arabic is an offshoot of Syriac? No, it didn't. It says an offshoot of the Semitic branch of the Afro-Asiatic languages. Okay? So let's scoot on down. It says, although people label Arabs are attested as early as the 9th century in Assyrian sources, the history and development of their language before the emergence of Islam. There's Arabic before Muhammad. I can prove that without a doubt. There's history about Arabic. Without a doubt. We can go east, west, north, south. I got it all. Let's keep it moving. Let's go into this because he didn't really go into this. A study of Christian Arabic, notice it said Christian Arabic manuscripts shows the interesting fact that some of the earliest of these come the nearest to showing an Estrangulo influence. Estrangulo is one type of Syriac writing. They have Mandalayan, Estrangulo, and Serta. Okay, it's like, for me, it's easier to deal with Estrangulo. Okay, so it says also to read on, though indirectly through the Nestorian and the general appearance of the script, which is firm and inclined to squareness. Others, some approximately the same period and some a later date, show the effect of Jacobite Serta. That's the Serta I was talking about. Furthermore, a comparison of several of these Christians' manuscripts with largely contemporary Kufic Qurans. Here we go. We're going to move from Christian. Watch. Christian Qurans reveal a decided similarity of scripts. However, script generally accepted as the Christian's Arabic type has, so far as is known, no Quranic parallel. How you going to tell us we got our Quran from Syriac or from some Syrio area? What are you talking about? No Quranic parallel. The Christian Arabic type has, no far as is known, no Quranic parallel. Those were the guys who you're trying to say to Syriac. But let's keep reading on. From the 10th century on, the Christian Arabic, see, they keeping it distinctively to telling you who's who, so you won't get confused. Christian Arabic script begins gradually to lose its similarity to the Syriac scripts on the one hand, and to become more and more like the current Muslim Arabic. See, it kept it distinctively. So now you know it's Christian Arabic, Muslim Arabic. Muslim Arabic scripts, on the other hand, until eventually it becomes very difficult to distinguish the one type from another. Watch this. These facts point to an interesting cycle of events, at the start of which the Arabs, no Muslim, no Christian, is just saying Arabs. These could be the pagan Arabs, were the borrowers from the more advanced Syrian Christians of the north. Okay? of the north. These were Arabs, but at the end of which the subject Syrian Christians had in turn become the borrowers from the ruling Arabs. The University of Chicago Oriental Institute Publications, pages 20 and 21. I have this. See? He didn't tell you all that. This dude is saying stuff, reading people's stuff, and then he makes an opinion which is a faulty, fabricated conclusion. Paradigms and Exercises in Syriac Grammar by Theodore H. Robinson says, when Arabic superseded Syriac or Syriac as the vernacular, Arabic texts were sometimes written in Syriac scripts. I have a book here with Arabic and Syriac and it mixed up together. I ain't gonna show it to you now. You debate me live and I'll put it on PowerPoint. The name Karshani is given to this kind of writing, page 3. Okay? And Syriac is a dialect of Aramaic. What are you talking about? Aramaic and Arabic are more closer than Hebrew. And I can prove that. I got notes on that. Okay, now, here we remember I told y'all to keep that Syro on your minds? Hebrew language. Popular and Critical Bible Encyclopedia, Volume 2. I have these books. It says, Semitic. It belongs to the Semitic, or it is more appropriately called the Syro-Arabian family of languages. What? It's called the Syro-Arabian family of languages. Syro-Arabian? But I thought Syro was dealing with Syriac. Oh. So this Hebrew language, it belongs to the Semitic, or as it is more appropriately called, the Syro-Arabian family. Wow, of languages. So we have Syro-Arabian. Okay. That's something to look at. You know what I'm saying? That's really something to look at. Wow. So, let's keep it moving. Here we go. Holman Illustrated Bible Dictionary, page 378. I have the book. Matter of fact, you can go, again, you can go online, YouTube, and put in Rahim's library collection, book collection, however I said it. I don't know. I forgot. Look, on the map, it says Syro-Arabian Desert. So, what is Shakka really talking about? Oh, I know it. I must have made this map. No, here go another map. Encyclopedic Bible, Dictionary of the Bible. What it says? Syro-Arabian Desert. So any languages that run through there, brother, it's the Arabians anyway. But we don't have to trip and say, well, that person took from us. And they're loan words within all the Semitic languages. Nobody stole nothing. That's you saying that, and people need to understand you are saying this. Not the scholars. Shakka is saying this. You see? Here's another map. So I guess I made that up too. I got this book. You debate me, I'm bringing them books to the debate. Now, is Islam a religion? Well, I don't know. Is it? Well, let me say one more thing about this Arabic and stuff. Jewish writing in Arabic. You see the link? You can go to it. Arabic, like Hebrew, is a Semitic language. It didn't say Arabic is a Syriac language. It says Semitic. With the two having many words in common, Up to 180 people speak Arabic as their mother tongue. Jews from Arab countries often speak or spoke vernacular Judeo-Arabic and wrote it in Hebrew characters. Okay? So now we can deal with, is Islam a religion? Let's see what we're talking about right here. Encyclopedia of Islam and the Muslim World. Page 359. I have the book. The word Islam is a verbal noun in Arabic for the action of submission or total commitment, usually referring to acceptance of and submission to the will of God or Allah. That's what we call God, Allah. It is the name identifying the faith, tradition, and community of those who believe that there is one God and that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was God's messenger, and that the person who submits is a Muslim. In the Quran, Islam appears 8 times. It is associated with the concept of deen. When you hear if you're familiar with Deen al-Islam, that concept, we say it all the time. Brother be joking around, brother, you need to get on your deen. We be talking like that to each other. You know, that's how we talk. We be playing around with each other. Then it says, which is translated in modern times as religion. See, it's translated as religion. But does it mean that? No. The closest word in Arabic is malat. You can ask your boy polite that. But has a broader sense, including creed, normative standards, and the whole range of standard behavior. The Quran affirms that with God, the deen is al-Islam, Surah 3, verse 19, which can be translated more generally as stating, with God, the true way is submission, or more specifically, with God, true religion is Islam. See? So it's a modern time translation of religion because that's the way the translator used it. But does it say that? But is it that? The Oxford Dictionary of Islam. So we looking up the word Islam in the dictionary. And I got many more. I'm just using one. By John Esposito. It says, at the heart of the revivalist worldview is the belief that the Muslim world is in a state of decline owing to Muslims' departure from the straight path of Islam. The proposed cure is to return to Islam in personal and public life so as to ensure restoration of its Islamic identity, values, and power for Islamic political activists. Islam is a total or comprehensive way of life stipulated in the Quran, mirrored in Muhammad ﷺ example, and the nature of the first Muslim community state, and embodied in the comprehensive nature of Sharia, God's revealed law. It says way of life. Deen al-Islam means way of life, submission to the will of Allah. Deen means way of life. Doesn't mean religion. So I already proved that. So we're not practicing a religion. We live in a way of life. Dealing with the 5 pillars of Islam, dealing with the 6 articles of faith, dealing with tahara, purification. You don't know nothing about that because you don't even know how to purify yourself. I can count probably, I get a black light and see probably the urine stains all over your jeans. Y'all dudes, y'all standing up, urinating. You better be sure that you are definitely not purified. Okay, so that's cleared out the way. So now I'm gonna take you for Shakka's ride. Right? The Shakka Ahmose ride. Okay? Codex, game over. This is his book. $27. 44 pages. This is the biggest ripoff of the ages. You're going to hear that in the end of this video. I'm going to show you how whack he is when doing music. I'm going to keep it 1,000. How many of them dudes he run with play his record? So, we're looking at volume 1, Pyramid Text. So, he's going to make a volume 2. Right? So, it's $27. Okay. Commend you. Applaud. You put out a book. Okay. No problem with that. Later biblical, plagiarized versions, evidence you were never meant to see, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Got 3 stars. But what people didn't know is when you go into it, it's paperback, 44 pages, publisher, Now Valley Movement. Okay. And you see the star system. He's half and half. I've seen books on there, 5 stars all the way across the board. So I ain't got to even put that up. We know if you go and look stuff up at Amazon and so forth and get reviews. Now, here's the reviews. You see 1 star. The King 76 says, ego equal in it for the money. 44 pages and $27. You must be out your effing mind, whoever I know they got it with the star on it. And you claim to be for the people. Looks more like exploitation. Customers, you'd get more out of your money by buying something by Dr. Ben Yakinen on the subject, may he rest in peace, cheaper and way more informative than this mess here. Well, I know Dr. Ben had like 12,000 books in his library. That's what they say. I don't think I'll never reach that. But I have Dr. Ben's books here, and they're worth probably, I can go $50 for one. They're over 44 pages. They're over 200. So $27. But he ain't going to get rich because it's not a bestseller. So K.C. Harris, 2 stars. I just read the Codex, Game Over, and was very disappointed. I do not believe that the book lives up to all the hype surrounding its price. It is 48 pages, including 56 collations from the Pyramid Text and the Bible. I must say that it's supposed to be excerpts there, but they misspelled it, from the New Testament are most of this book. Not the Tanakh, although there are so-called collations from the book of Psalms, Chronicles, and Genesis. I could not make the correlations from what I read that the author suggested were there. So they couldn't make out the correlations. It wasn't clear. There was just word matching from the 2 texts, not contextually analysts or even the author's conclusion. Okay? And why he concluded what he did from the text would have been welcome. I thought the text left too many loose ends. It's like the author expected us to believe the conclusions that he came to without evidence. See, they think we're stupid, people. And you can read the rest. Let's go to the next one. Candace Hogan, woman, 1 star. This book, wait, let's read the top. It says, poor penmanship and editing was used in his book. I remember seeing Awana Sapp showing that he wanted to spell the word give, but it was G-I-V. See? It's a privilege to meet you, but you dropped out of school. See? Using the word astrological over and over and over. People go figure. This book is a blatant fraud. There were Bible verses in this book that does not exist. Wow. The author completely made up Egyptian coffin text that does not exist. Okay. I'm not saying this. They're saying this. Poor penmanship and editing was used in this book. The author has no credibility or expertise in the field of which he is speaking of. This book needs to be taken off the market and destroyed. Someone should have shown him how to use spell check and proper editing. It was a waste of 42 minutes of my life reading it that I can never get back. So they read that book in 42 minutes? Wow. 44 pages. Yeah. So you get another one, 3 stars. Okay. Information was good, but the price was very high for this pamphlet. I agree. Call it a pamphlet, not a book. Wow. Anyway, that's not the correct definition for a pamphlet, but Shakka almost put a book. It's 44 pages, but it's a book. Okay. Chris Zokas, I guess the T is silent, whatever. Gave him 5 stars. Okay, so you see, I'm putting up the 5 stars. I can look at the bad and the good. See, so I'm giving y'all both. K.C. Harris. Okay. Basically talks again. Okay. And says, well, that's K.C. Harris' parent is talking. Correlation without context equals opinion. 2 stars. And it says, I just read Kodak's Game Over and was very disappointed. I do not believe that the book lives up to all the hype surrounding its price. It is 48 pages, including 56 collations from the pyramid text and the Bible. So it's basically almost saying the same words as it said before. All right. So we go down to the 5 stars. Kabad Nepti. Okay, cool. Gives him 5 stars. So you know he's down with the movement by the name. He says, truth has been risen. You know, Shakka Ahmose has proven that in his collation of the original ancient Egyptian pyramid text versus the plagiarized work of the Greco-Romans who only reworded what was already written, blah, 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 blah. You can read the rest. So you know he's down with him. We go to Black Mind. 1 star. Great. Do not buy it. It's not a great book. He left it simple and plain. Another 1 star. Ghetto Illuminated Agenda. Chief Rocker. Dr. Cool, Chief Rocker, that's his name, I guess. This guy is an egomaniac and a high school dropout. Proof of his egotism is the fact that he put himself on the cover instead of an ancient Egyptian. His ego is out of control and it will be his undoing. That's what they wrote. I didn't write it. So we go here. The utterance in 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 23. Let me show you just one example. He gave this. He said, 73:2b. Thou will be born again at the new moon's feast like the moon. Peter says, for you have been born again, not of seed, which is perishable, but imperishable. That is through the living and enduring word of God. Okay, cool. Now, when you look at the word again in Shakka Ahmose utterance 412, it has parentheses around it, meaning that's not even in the original. Someone put that there to make the sentence flow. So thou will be born at thy new moons. That's what it should be. But someone put again there. So if you're trying to say again is the same as again and Peter, which doesn't have brackets, that's a fabrication and a false opinion. And we'll leave it there. Let's look at psychic trauma. Here's a book by Naima Latif and Sultan A. Latif. Wonderful sister. Wonderful sister. This is a book you need in your house. And you'll see it on my video. Now watch this, people. It's over 200 pages. The price is $14.95. Okay? Now, I don't understand how you get $27 for 44 pages, man. And I'll leave it there. So, that's the end of this video. Now, if Shakka really wants to get down, let's debate in person. No, behind the screen, none of that nonsense. Let's debate in person. Since you big dog, you big man, running around with your lock. They talking about my lock. They talking about my lock. My lock bad tight. Okay. That lock stuff is over. I'm talking about title. Islam versus Ma'at. See, it's limitless now. You can talk about anything. My job is to show and give the people probable cause not to believe in what you're talking about and how you're displaying Egypt. That's where I'm at. Which you're going to have problems. I'm telling you. So get Sonnet on the back phone. Tell them I'll be down to, I'll call up my sponsor and set it. Okay? Now, to end this, now you will hear how I do music. I made up the track, arranged it, and everything. Nobody did nothing. Lyrics, I done myself. I don't do it no more, but I still got it. You can't sing, and that's a fact. Egypt, Allah, Marduk, no deity on this planet or outer planet or whatever can help you with that. And I'm saying it because you tried to diss me, so I'm giving it back to you. You can't sing. But what I'm saying is not a diss. I'm saying you can't sing because I have experience in the studio. So without further ado, my track, Music 101. Let's go. Let me show you how to do real music, Shakka. Music 101. Let's go. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Let's go. Come on. Put your hands. Come on. Let's hands up. And let's roll out. And put your hands up. Music 101. Yeah. Put your hands up. And put your hands up. Put your hands up. Yes, y'all. Put your hands up. Hey, yo, Sam. Let's roll. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Everybody hate Shakka like they hate Chris. If you wanna do music, Shakka, do it like this. $27 for 44 pages. This is the biggest rip-off of the ages. And volume 2, at a store near you, you can keep that. Plus your marketing is whack. Rahim Ali is gonna cause a riot. Call Sonnet, Islam versus Ma'at. Music 101, done for my son and a few. Told you I was coming after you. I push more weight than an everyday diesel. This everyday combat will switch lyric sequel. Chapter, hand me them shares so I can cut it. I kick it, fit it, then I have to rip it, flip it. Double tuck into gymnastics, fantastic. Blow it up, it's the ball elastic. Cock back the hammer, prefix. Journalists smoking all tyrants as you feel my vibrant techniques. Warm it up, here's the elite. Feel the heat. I'm not the same, I'm unique. The calamity capacity holds my rhapsody. In any vicinity, I look for serenity. Hypnotic terror for the unbelieving fool in the NYC. You get started bruised. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Let's go. Come on. Put your hands. Come on. Let's hands up. And let's roll out. And put your hands up. Music 101. Yeah. Put your hands up. And put your hands up. Put your hands up. Yes, y'all. Put your hands up. Hey, yo, Sam. Let's roll. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Let's go. Come on. Put your hands. Come on. Let's hands up. And let's roll out. And put your hands up. Music 101. Yeah. Put your hands up. And put your hands up. Put your hands up. Yes, y'all. Put your hands up. Hey, yo, Sam. Let's roll. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
In the name of Allah, beneficent, merciful.
Alright guys, once again you're now listening to the Big Talk B Radio. I'm your host, Sal Showtime, and I want to welcome everybody to
The Lion's Den.
You can search, you will never find a depiction of a lie receiving slaves. But I got them. I got many of them. Strict methodology requires that we confess that we don't know who the source and derivation is. It's wishful acquisition, wishful thinking, pyramidianism, to think that everything comes from Kemet. Everything don't come from Kemet.